transforming, being transformed.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all well rested after the lunch. Okay. Respected Chief Guest, Vice Chancellor Geshe Lhakdor, honored expert Geshe Lhakdor, Director of Library of Tibetan Works and Archive (LTWA), Dharamsala, Director CT Dr. Himanshu Pandey, participants and colleagues. We have reached the final and the concluding sessions of our these 2 days lecture come workshop on mind and mental factor as well as C learning, and I hope you have learned quite a lot, I believe. We would like to begin our conclusion session by bringing 2 participants to share their views on the workshop. Three. I think that we are basically there were 2. One from B.Ed and another from BA B.Ed. So I would like to call upon participant from B.Ed, if anyone is here, to share your experience. Okay, thank you.
동마들라 때가 주요장배 뉴리다 쇼다 하나씩 계실라도라죠. 아니 our director sir, then all the staff members and my dear friends nge 저거 참아 님으실라 야부치에 셔레 상고도 님도 참아를 다시들 쉬이. 아니 마 되게 데데데 삼바 가니 시디 레라도로 스탄드 간리디 스타스기 이르시 아니 다 니마니 링알라 먼저 디 고티슈에 토네 니마니 링알 게실라도라기 셈다 셈주다 지조 초시 상주 콜라 정다 콜라야 도신 칼루 상부 시우나스트라 정부시나 아니 간조로 차시나 비에부 몽부지 니 야가 톨롭니 도신 술레교네레 제가 야가 톨롭로 차시나 아니 낭쉐레 다가나시기 딘데 시 러닝다 딘데 톨라야 아니 저기 삽종다 딘데 빼면서 가보라 제가 딘데 델레도 삼바 니만니 링아 이네 오늘 주제 추세 로마서 사면 벳 세르기 티버는시라 까마 gelanyam도 되지 삼바 주제 까마 찍찍이네 까마 찍찍이 참마 세르기 티버 찍찍는 시기 딘데기 린다 소알데스라 안 gelala 차츠음바 있나 오늘 다갈로레 뒤절라 뒤 탑라 케벌러다 맞아 보고 상마 지단에 칼시올라 낭추디 빼면서 고쳐하고 그래서 낭추다 다생관리 보이네 근데 고쳐하고 그래서 이나 gelagi 시단이 따오는 베탑라 케바 뒤절라 뒤네 시단이죠 뭐니 주다 시샤 gelagi 냠률라 시샤네 딘데기 아니 마 순시 지단에 오늘 다갈로리 이왕 트레이더라 안 미베타요 마음보 간저 gelagi 체네 gel라는 시기 지우도 달라져라 보고든저 남주 담시다 딘데 치도 잡마 니군이다 딘데 몽보여래 이네 gel라 담시치도 니군이 제 토마스 딘저 상마 가레 상고들나 gelagi 탑라 케바지 시단으로 케보 다는 시다 오늘 맞아 내절로 보여 딱딱 다시 케우 딘데 도스무드라 제장이 gel라 닝 타고는 도제나 도셔이 아니 나라스 카르섬스나 다 니만니디 디스 뇽라교로 초아질레스라 가질나 지단이 남규 가지고 진짜 초디선바 진짜 니마직 초에네 김자르나 팀자이네 야가나마 두슬로르디 선바 직도 다갈래 드린다 참점다 시라시메 교로죠라 니디네 선바 교메 교로 초르 다 참점을 중고다 이네 드린 니만니 링알라 gelagi 딘데 시디즈마 오네 야가르디 야세바 교로스다 다 드린다 쇼시에스달레저라 다 시엔다 쇼시에요 말다 이네 gelagi 다 닌조저라디 소소기 디 초라 process chola lebanala ine ta ngone sheja shurasra thambusina nimoni nalala chejang dilata bebetambe nando khanshi segirila neguna de dabja tamje sedu gyulan gila tagi sunza dinrenashi ta gelado chashina segiridola chejang ajo nimoni ringala ya segirila dosnye de samba ta sugu tamje de sergyumeta hago masine segi thematis is for this is goyore samudra 어디 아니 상마이 아니 gelagi dana zo 다 니만 당번이가 나라스기 신 시주디 칸데 교 되면 뒤절었다 뒤다 코알았다니 교 간데 되면 디젤야 아니 셈다 셈준치 아니 다나시기 시 러닝 다 디조 상마가 도스탐시 치디서 먹으니 페마스기 편도 전부 중서 아니 게라라 아니 아주 기 비에트 로마 용기 삽시네 닝타바네 투제체스 아마오바이네 아니 디네도 고티 마스트다 아니 게라님도 아니 게라자니 칼럽람드다 디네 망부치 토비아기 니 레와 상보정게 게라 닝타바네 투제체스
Thank you. Next, if we have any students from BA, BEd.
सर्वप्रथम यहाँ मंच पे उपस्थित कुलपति तथा गेशे लाचो और तथा यहाँ पे उपस्थित हमारे सीईटी का निर्देशक और प्यारे भाई और बहनों, वैसे मैंने अपनी इस प्रस्तुत तिब्बती भाषा में करने के लिए मैंने सोचा था, फिर यहाँ आने के बाद हमारे कुछ सहपाठियों ने कहा कि अगर आप हिंदी में कहा जाए तो शायद ये उचित होगा, तो इसलिए मैं अपने वाक्य को हिंदी में प्रस्तुत करने की कोशिश करूँगा। अगर इसमें कुछ गलतियाँ हो तो फिर माफ़ करें। तो मैंने 3 विभागों में बांधकर अपने इस प्रस्तुति को आप लोगों के समक्ष रखना चाहता। तो पहले ये कि इन 2 दिनों में हम लोगों ने अपने इस मूल्यवान गेशेला से हमने क्या सीखा। तो पहले उन्होंने लर्न फैक्ट फ्रॉम नॉट लर्न ओनली फ्रॉम बुक। तो उन्होंने बताया कि हमें केवल पुस्तक से हम अध्ययन नहीं करना चाहिए, बल्कि हम पुस्तक से बढ़ के हमें और प्रकृति जैसे कि हमारे यहाँ के वातावरण, फूल पौधे वगैरह यहाँ से भी सीखना चाहिए। ये मुझे उचित लगा, क्योंकि जब भगवान बुद्ध उन्होंने पहले बार जब एनलाइटमेंट जो उन्होंने बुद्ध को प्राप्त किया, तो उस समय उन्होंने भी मतलब प्रकृति से ही उन्होंने मतलब बुद्धत्व प्राप्त किया। तो यही नहीं कि इसी तरह और भी उदाहरण है जो हमें एक भविष्य में जाकर एक उचित शिक्षक बनना है बाद में। तो इसलिए हमें भी इन सभी चीज़ों पर ध्यान रखना बहुत ज़रूरी समझता हूँ। जैसे कि खेवांग गेदिन चोपल के कर हमारे एक तिब्बती का एक पंडित है, वो भी जो अपने जो स्टूडेंट होते हैं उन लोगों को मतलब खाली इस मतलब कमरे में बंद कर 4 दीवारों के कमरे में बंद करके ही नहीं सिखाते, बल्कि वातावरण से जोड़ कर वो मतलब कि फूल पौधे वहाँ ले जाकर फिर सिखाते हैं। तो इस उदाहरण को रखते हुए हमें भी इस उदाहरण को अनुकरण या अनुसरण करना हमें बहुत ज़रूरी और ये महत्वपूर्ण रखता हूँ। और दूसरी बात जो है, गेशेला ने ये कहा कि जब हम रोटी बनाते हैं तो उस समय अगर उन्होंने 100% रोटी में से अगर 35% रोटी अगर पकाया जाए और बाकी वो असफल रहे तो उसको हम असफल कहेंगे, यानी फेल कहा जाएंगे। उसको हम एक अच्छी रोटी पकाने वाला नहीं कहेंगे। पर जब हम परीक्षा के साधन पर जब हम जाए तो उस समय हम 100% से 35% अगर लाया जाए तो उसको हम पास कहा जाते हैं। तो ये बात मेरे दिल को भी छुआ। तो मैं ये मानता हूँ कि मेरा ये अपना ये मानना है कि हम एक छात्र होने के नाते हम केवल क्या कहते हैं परीक्षा देकर जो उसी को लेकर मतलब ये मैं पास हूँ और 35% लाया हूँ इसलिए पास हूँ, इसलिए मैं फेल हूँ, कोई दुखी हो जाते और कोई खुश हो जाते। तो इस साधन को लेकर हमें ये निश्चय करना ये उचित नहीं समझता, क्योंकि और मेरा ये भी मानना है कि हो सके तो मगर किसी भी विश्वविद्यालय का जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है उसमें अगर एग्ज़ाम का जो सिस्टम है वो ना रखा जाए तो ये उचित समझता हूँ मैं अपने ख्याल से। क्योंकि ऐसे एक विश्वविद्यालय जैसे कि बेंगलोर की तरफ में भी सुनने को मिला है ऐसे, जो अगर ऐसे होने से क्या होते हैं कि जो छात्र होते हैं वो अपने मन में जो भी पढ़ना चाहते हो वो अपने खुद से पढ़ सकते हैं, ना कि अगर एग्ज़ाम सिस्टम रख कर अगर ऐसे पढ़ाया जाए तो फिर एग्ज़ाम को ही मतलब एक साधन रखकर उसी एग्ज़ाम के लिए पढ़ेंगे, बल्कि ना कि वो अपने भविष्य में एक उद्देश्य को लेकर पढ़ सकेंगे। और दूसरा उन्होंने कहा कि एक्शन एंड नॉलेज आर द इंटरडिपेंडेंट। तो ये भी मैं बहुत महत्वपूर्ण समझता हूँ। बिना एक्शन के नॉलेज नहीं होते और बिना नॉलेज के एक्शन नहीं होते, ये भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण समझता हूँ। जबकि पहले यहाँ पे नालंदा विश्वविद्यालय हुआ करते थे, उस समय नारोबा कर एक छात्र रहा था, मतलब एक पंडित जो हमारा क्या कहते हैं पंडित जो कलयुग के एक महापंडित में से एक माना जाता है। वो मतलब नॉलेज में अधिक ज्ञान है पर जो प्रैक्टिकल जो है उनमें इतना विशेष वो नहीं है। तो उन्होंने क्या किया कि एक तिलोपा करके एक जो सन्यासी है उनके पास किया, क्योंकि उनके पास नॉलेज अधिक नहीं है पर भी उनके पास जो प्रैक्टिकल जो कैसे अपने स्वभाव में कैसे उतरना है ये उनके पास बहुत अधिक होने के कारण वो उनके पास गए और उनके पास जाकर बहुत अध्ययन सीखने को मिला। तो इसलिए मैं ये बहुत मान्यता रखता हूँ। अगर ऐसा नहीं कि हम कोई अगर गंगा में जाए और अचानक वहाँ के गंगा के मतलब उस नाव चालक अगर किसी भी मतलब दुर्भाग्यवश वहाँ से मतलब मर जाए, तो मतलब पानी में गिरकर मतलब उसका ध्यान हो जाए और उसमें उस नौका का चालक कोई भी ना हो, तो उस समय एक चलाने के लिए उसके लिए मतलब एक नॉलेज होना बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं। अगर उस समय किसी के पास नॉलेज ना हो तो इस समय में वो कैसे उसको संभाल सकेंगे। इसलिए नॉलेज होना भी बहुत ज़रूरी समझता हूँ। और जो दूसरा बात उन्होंने कहा कि सोलो द सॉलिड एंड चू द लिक्विड। तो इसका कहने का मतलब ये था कि खाते समय हम लोग अच्छा से चबा कर खाना चाहिए और निकालते समय उसको जो है लिक्विड बनाकर उसको मतलब निकाल दिया जाना चाहिए। तो मेरा पहला स्वभाव ये था कि मैं ज़्यादा नहीं चबाता हूँ, खाली मतलब मुंह में डालते ही उसको मतलब निकाल लेता हूँ। तो आज मुझे ये सुनकर मुझे एक अच्छा ज्ञान हुआ। 2 दिन में मतलब अगर एक शब्द भी सीखने को मिला तो ये भी मैं अपने को मतलब भाग्यशील मानता हूँ। तो आज जो भोजन किया तो उस समय मैं सावधान से अच्छा से चबा कर खाया, जो ये घेशेला की कृपा है। और हाँ अच्छा, तो कंक्लूजन जो अपने इस बातचीत को मैं कंक्लूजन में रखना चाहता हूँ। जो सी लर्निंग में हम लोगों ने सीखा कि सर्विस लर्निंग, जो हम शिक्षक हो जब हम किसी चीज़ को हम सीख रहे होते उस समय खाली हम पुस्तक को ही मतलब ध्यान देकर ना कि ऐसे करके नहीं बैठना है, बल्कि वास्तविक में उतर कर हम जो स्वाभाविक में उतर कर जो जैसे कि साफ सुथरा करना है, प्रैक्टिकल को लेकर अगर हम अध्ययन किया जाए तो ये मतलब एक स्ट्रॉन्ग और एक अच्छा भविष्य में एक बहुत मददगार मिलेगा इससे। और दूसरा जो है एक्सपेरिमेंटल लर्निंग, तो सीखने के साथ साथ मतलब एक्सपीरियंस करके सीखना ये भी बहुत ज़रूरी समझता हूँ। सर्विस लर्निंग और एक्सपीरियंस लर्निंग मेरा ख्याल से ये दोनों एक ही मान्यता रखता हूँ, पर यह अपने ऊपर निर्भर करता है जो आप लोग क्या सोचते हैं इनके ऊपर। तो अवेयरनेस एंड कंपैशन, तो ये दोनों होना भी बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं। बाद में हम शिक्षक होने जा रहे हैं तो उस समय अगर आपके पास अवेयरनेस बल्कि शिक्षक ही नहीं बल्कि हमारे जो रोजगारी ज़िंदगी में जो कुछ भी करते हैं उस समय अवेयरनेस होना बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं। जो किसी को ये भी पता नहीं चलता कि जो कुछ मतलब किसी दुष्ट पथ में भटक जाते हैं, जैसे कि कुछ कुछ मतलब सिगरेट पीना या दारू पीना, इस समय खुद को पता नहीं चलता कि खुद किस पथ पे चल रहे हैं, अच्छा पद पे चल रहे हैं या खराब पद पे चल रहे हैं। मतलब ये चीज़ जो है मतलब धीरे धीरे खुद को पता नहीं चलता कि मतलब धीरे धीरे करके एक बाद में अंतिम में ऐसा होगा कि जब आपको होश में आएगा तो उस समय आपको एक नाली में डाल दिया जाएगा। तो इसलिए अवेयरनेस होना भी बहुत ज़रूरी समझता हूँ। और एक जो है कंपेशन होना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है। हम बाद में जाकर एक मतलब जो शिक्षक बनने जाते हैं तो उस समय कंपेशन होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। अगर कंपेशन ना होगा तो मतलब अपने छात्रों को अच्छे तरह से नहीं पढ़ा सकेंगे। एक मतलब एक समय वेस्ट करने के लिए मतलब कुछ पढ़ के उलपटंग पढ़ के मतलब फिर समय को बिता देंगे और ये नहीं ध्यान देंगे कि अपने छात्र किस तरह पढ़ रही है और कैसे पढ़ रहे हैं। जो ये इन सब का ज्ञान हमें सीखने को मिला इन 2 दिनों में और बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ। और अंत में ये है कि गेशेला जो है पढ़ते समय मैंने ये ध्यान दिया गेशेला को कि वो पढ़ते समय पढ़ाने के बाद जो मतलब क्वेश्चन आंसर करते हैं उत्तर और जो प्रश्न पूछते हैं, तो गेशेला ये नहीं कि अगर खुद को मतलब ऐसा ज्ञान ना भी हो तो मतलब उसको मैं जानता हूँ करके ऐसे नहीं करते। ये भी मैंने एक ध्यान दिया उनके पास। ये स्पष्ट होता है कि उनके पास अहंकार नहीं है और बहुत अच्छे समझा मुझे। और ये एक है कि और दूसरा जो तो ज़्यादा समझ नहीं लेते हुए इसी पर मैं अपना इस वक्तव्य को समाप्त करता हूँ और अंतिम में एक फीडबैक देना चाहता हूँ कि आगे जाकर इसी तरह और हमारा अध्ययन का प्रचार प्रसार करें और हो सके तो खाली मतलब टीचिंग के साथ साथ अगर एक्टिविटीज़ भी हो सके तो फिर अच्छा रहेगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you. Next, I would like our Honorable Vice Chancellor to facilitate Geshe Lhakdor with a memento. Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor Geshe Lhakdor. Next, I would request if Geshe Lhakdor has a final words to students and staffs.
Respected Vice Chancellor, Director, and Bhai और बहनों, I'm not going to give a lengthy discourse here because you must have been tired listening to me during the last 2 days. कान फट रहा होगा है ना? So the only thing I want to say is I already told something that when I conducted these 3 days teaching to the students before talking here,
The senior students.
yeah, senior students, and then now 2 days with you, one thing that I was impressed and also very happy is the amount of attention paid by the students. Just like almost like one person. I did not see anybody sleeping or getting distracted, little bit maybe sometimes, but not distracted for a long time. So I was very, very happy and inspired. And I deem it a privilege for me to be able to come here, meet all of you, talk to you, smile with you. Did not fight, of course, yeah, okay. So that was a really, really privilege. And one thing that I also, as you are seeing right now, is everybody has a smiley face. That is called life. in life, one thing that's really, really important is think about good things, opportunities that you have, facilities that you have. And I've been repeatedly saying, imagine if you are not a human being today, but instead if you are a cow or a dog, imagine what will be आपका क्या स्थिति होगा फिर?
एग्जाम नहीं देना होगा.
Exactly. Then, yes, you're right. On the one hand, on the one hand, human beings are unnecessarily complicated. You know, we need eyeglass. Cows don't need eyeglass. So we are a little bit like difficult to deal with or complicated. But then on a bigger scale, you know, it's because of this great human intelligence, and especially as I repeatedly said, that intelligence itself is like nuclear energy. It's neither positive nor negative. The issue and question is, how are you going to use that potential, that human intelligence? Now here at least we are trying to, how successful we will be is a different question, but we are at least trying our best to use it in a positive direction. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is able to benefit so many people. He's the same human being in a way. Of course, we see him as a enlightened being, things like that, but generally speaking, we will count him as another human being. Similarly, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, same human being. But they use their human potential to benefit millions of other people, and therefore just one individual, one person is able to benefit so many people. In the same situation, another person like Mao Zedong or Hitler or Idi Amin, and there's so many again in line. I have the list of all these people, how many people they have killed. I have a list which is with me. So again, they are like notorious people who just one individual brought so many problems, so many difficulties. And even today, there are many leaders, unfortunately, in the world whose concern is immediate, political mileage, and not much concern about the well-being of the people. So that is why everywhere you see a lot of people are unnecessarily suffering. So therefore, the kind of education that you are getting is something that you should be happy and you should be proud and you should be, you should really appreciate that, right? So appreciate that, enjoy it, and with that sense of appreciation, enjoyment, your life will be happy. When you are happy, you can study very well, easy. Study is very easy if your mind is happy. If you are reluctant, if your mind is reluctant, just like a tired donkey taken uphill, when a tired donkey heavily loaded, taken uphill, then it takes one step and looks down. Takes one step, looks down. Very difficult for that person. What? So therefore, don't see this educational activities as kind of burden or something that you need to do. अब इसको करना पड़ेगा, नहीं करने से मुझे जॉब नहीं मिलेगा, तनख्वाह नहीं मिलेगा. That's rubbish. All these things will come as a byproduct if you do the right thing. And the most important thing, and especially as I said, the meaning of education is not just literacy, reading, writing, mathematics, but human flourishment, personality development. And personality development, human flourishment means that you are flourishing, you are happy in all the situations. When you are happy, you can do everything so easily. So therefore, you have that potential. I find all of you very happy people. So that's really, really important. So keep that happiness wherever you go. Keep that peace of mind, and then study will be very easy, and I don't have to say much. So therefore, as His Holiness the Dalai Lama normally says, you should be just like a bird with two wings. A bird with just one wing cannot fly, cannot soar into the space, but with two wings can fly. So similarly, we need the wing of love and compassion and the wing of wisdom. Love and compassion based on knowledge. Wisdom is necessary because with wisdom you are able to see the reality, how we are interconnected, how much suffering we have, how much problem we have. So based on that you are able to lead a life of harmony, love and compassion. So these two things you should do in your education. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to please say a few words.
Venerable Geshe Lhakdor, the Dr. Himanshu and the faculty members and students of CTE. I'm very glad that this 2 days workshop has been very successful, and whether any program becomes successful or unsuccessful depends on the participants' participation and how enthusiastically and with the sense of engagement they involved into the the program. That is the main kind of the parameter on the basis of which we can count any program to be successful. So it sounds that from the report as well as when Geshe said, and also the reflections from the students seem that it has been quite successful. So I'm really very happy that and this kind of program should keep on going again and again, and there should be some kind of transformation. It seems that the transformation has reached to you and you have started to transform, right? And now the most important thing is that what Geshe has said and what we generally, you are taught in the classrooms. There are two factors, right? One is about the knowledge, the facts and the figures. The facts and figures are informations. You should not confine yourself in obtaining those facts and figures. On the basis of those facts and figures, then you have to, make your own, create and generate your own wisdom out of that. Just simply obtaining the facts and figure is not knowledge. Whereas it is treated these days that just to have information about certain, certain things, that is regarded to be a knowledge, and then the students are, assessed on the basis of how much they have obtained the data, and then after having a good scoring in terms of having the data, then they are regarded to be successful. But this is not the reality. Based on those facts and figures, that brings you the picture of some scenario, right? And now you have to use your intelligence to make something out of that, right? And that is why, as just Geshe said, the wisdom and skills. In Buddhism, you have the Upai and Pragya, right? Tab and Shirab. So these two things are extremely important for every kind of thing. I used to say that even while you make a cup of tea, you need a skill and some kind of wisdom. So, and in order to help millions of people, and in order to benefit the students that you are going to have in future, and in order to be successful in leading your own life, you need intelligence, you need wisdom to understand the reality, the analysis of the reality, analysis of the facts. The facts themselves are not the final, stage of knowledge, but you have to analyze those things, and then you need to have your own reflection, right? So unless you don't analyze into the facts and figures, and then have your own reflection about that, then you are not more than a kind of, the computer, or which can keep lots of data. The computer can keep much more, data and with great precision. But being a human being, you need to have the capacity to process that, information and to make something out of that useful, right? Which would be useful for your life and for others and for society. So whatever has been covered during the 2 days, that is our hearing stage, right? That you have obtained information, and now this is to be processed. It should not be left in the notebooks, and it should not be left at the level of information. Oh yeah, I heard about compassion, I heard about the destructive nature of anger and things like that. Yeah, it is very bad, anger is very bad, compassion is very good. So that level of understanding is not sufficient, right? Of course it is good, because without having even that level, you cannot have more access into the depth of the subject, right? So after obtaining that level of knowledge, then you need to, analyze and contemplate on that. So that is why we have the knowledge that is acquired at the the hearing level, and the knowledge and the wisdom that is acquired through contemplation. And through contemplation, when you reach to a level of conviction, then you ascertain it, right? You find that, oh, this is the reality, and this is the the thing that for example, anger. In the case of anger, yes, anger is certainly very destructive, and you can experience it, right? Through your own, in your daily life, you can experience it. And once you have defined it and identified it as something to be reduced, something that you should be very much aware of, and whenever it appears in your mental domain, then you must shun it. If you have that kind of awareness and readiness to handle anger, then that is good enough to make you aware, and then apply antidote whenever it appears, right? So when you have the conviction through your contemplation that anger is very destructive, and when you reach to a conviction that it is certainly destructive, based on my own experience, I have ascertained it, and now onward, I will try to confront it and then reduce it in the initial stage, and then eventually I will be able to, I should make myself able to handle it and reduce it, and I won't let myself to be dominated by, negative emotions, particularly in this case, by anger, right? So when you reach to that level, you are processing, contemplating, and after that conviction, then you practice it, right? Practice it over and again, on daily basis, on every, on whenever it comes, then how to tackle it. At one point of time, you can find yourself that earlier I have not been able to handle it properly, and I have not been successful in handling it and confronting it. Now I am better, right? So in that way you can improve yourself, and this is the way to bring transformation. You cannot overnight, you cannot bring transformation. So you have to do contemplation, practice meditation. So meditation does not necessarily mean that you have to sit somewhere cross-legged. While you're walking, while you're in kitchen, while you're in dining hall, while you're in mall, you can meditate, right? When you're watching your mind, when you're navigating your mind, when you're regulating your mind, that is meditation actually. There are formal meditations and informal meditations. So when you are able to manage your emotions at that stage, then you are transforming yourself, right? So then at certain level, after 2-3 years, when you look back, then you will find yourself much advanced in, and you will find yourself, now I'm much more peaceful person than I used to be. So that is the great reward, and that's a great kind of result, right? So what Geshe has said, as I said, should not be left in the notebook and should not be left at the level of information, but should be brought down at the contemplative level, and then finally transform it into practice through meditation, right? And practice, right? And then bring transformation within yourself. This is the purpose of such teachings. This is the purpose of such a kind of the teachings which are transformative in nature. If you treat the same way as the facts and figures, then it will remain in that very domain and won't come into your life, right? So therefore, I think as it has been suggested and requested that we should have more time for this kind of activities, right? And someone who was that suggested that we should have more, practical kind of experience and experimentations and things like that. Yeah, it is really good to go into nature, and then, of course, but seeing from a different angle, you're always in nature. You can bring the nature in your mental domain and then analyze it. And of course, to physically go into nature and have to analyze and feel the nature, feel the richness of the nature and how to live with nature. That is a wonderful kind of experiment and experience, right? So we will certainly, and I really apologize for not being able to sit with you, even though I have promised many times, except few times, maybe a couple of times I've not been able to sit with you. So I will try to give more time for general, the other departments and you as well. So, I'm happy that the director and the faculties and staff have brought this program, and it has been successful. And so how much this it has been successful in terms of transmitting the knowledge up to you, right? That is how you felt that. Now how much it is going to go deep into your mental level depends on you. The knowledge has been transformed. How you are going to transform yourself, right, through this transmission, that depends on you. So I would like to hear later that how much you have been, able to bring transformation within yourself, right? So with these words, I would like to stop here, because we have another program in Adisha Hall that's going to be quite interesting. Management based on the Jataka tales. This is a very special kind of there is a scholar, engineering by training, and then after retirement he studied Jatakas many times. He read so many times, and then finally found that while he was studying, he found that there are so many teachings and lessons which are associated with our the life and social life, individual life. And he finds that, of course, it is that social management, business management, and individuals, the management of the friendship and things like that are very much, they are in the Jatak tales. So he has been, for the last few years, been going from one institute to another and from one program to another, giving lecture on Jataka tales, deriving the lessons on management of different kinds. So I think this would be very good for you as well. So we have arranged a talk at 3:30. So I think we should stop here. And I would like to thank Geshe Lhakdor for sparing time this time for both our senior students and for CTE. And I would like to request him to come again in near future, again and again. And
not in summer.
But it is air conditioned, so we won't let you expose to sun during that time. Yeah. So with these words, I once again thank Kishla and the organizers and all of you for being attentive and being attentive and and I hope that you will not only digest it but bring transformation within yourself, right? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Lastly, our Thank you very much. I would like to thank Geshe Lhakdor for being here and teaching us, even after, having a heavy, schedule with the senior students of this university. Thank you very much, and I would like to thank our honorable Vice Chancellor for being in both inaugural as well as in the valedictory sessions and giving us, his words of advice. Thank you very much for that, and I would like to thank our director, Dr. Himanshu Pandey, for helping us and guiding us in organizing this particular workshop come lecture series, and faculty members, staffs and students, all of you, thank you very much for making this workshop and lecture a success. Thank you very much. We have a small photo session if you can quickly join us down there.